So there I was at the Albuquerque airport using the men's room. And all of a sudden, a lady walked in and gave me a funny look. And I thought, boy, she's got her nerve being in the men's room and giving me a funny look. Well, that's what I thought until another lady walked in. Oops, I was so embarrassed. Hi, I'm Ron Price, and I just want to share with you today a thought that I think is going to bring you more peace and joy, less grief and friction in your relationships. You got to learn to laugh at yourself and laugh with others, not at others. I remember a time I hiked the Grand Canyon with a couple of friends, Randy and Don. We did the Hermit Trail, and then we hiked over on the Tonto for a day or two, and then came up the Bright Angel. It was about 30 miles altogether. It was a rough trip, but thoroughly enjoyable. And we got to the top and we drove over to the showers, and that was the only thought on my mind. I was hot, I stunk, I was sweaty, sore. Ooh, the thought of a shower seemed so great to me. So I got a whole bunch of quarters, and as we got to the shower area, Randy and I headed into the showers. Don, he's one of those neat freak kind of people. He needed to put everything away just right. And I said, you're crazy. Well, I went in, and I was on my second 50 cents of quarters. It lasted about 5 minutes. It's not a bad deal, but that water felt so good. I put in another 50 cents, and I was bent over and the water hit my back. It felt so, so good. And just then I noticed Don's legs in the next stall. Well, temptation got the best of me. I reached under the divider, gave him a little pinch right on the leg. He didn't say anything. That's all right. About 30 seconds later, Don yells out, "Hey, Randy, do you want your keys?" We were in Randy's vehicle. I knew two things right off the bat. Number one, it was Don's voice. Number two, it was not coming from that next stall. Oh, man. I tell that story in a group and people say, well, who was it in the next stall? Folks, I didn't stick around to find out. I set the Guinness World Record for shutting off a shower, toweling, dressing, drying, getting out of that place. I was so embarrassed. Now, tell me you don't know what I'm talking about. Ron, you're the only one who ever gets embarrassed. Yeah, right. We all do. But if we could learn to laugh at ourselves and with others and let others laugh with us, folks, it breaks down walls of hostility. It breaks down barriers. It helps us to humanize one another and maybe make it easier to put up with each other's faults and flaws and shortcomings, which indeed we want them to do with us. So I've got a resource for you today. A lady named Brené Brown. If I could remember my French classes, I could tell you what accent was over the second E in Brené. But Brené Brown, you can find her on, come on, what are those talks that everybody does? TED Talks, thank you. And she's written lots of books. She wrote Daring Greatly, which is a classic for me anyway, all about embracing your vulnerability. You know how we all wear a mask sometimes. What did somebody once say? We're not who we are, we're who we think other people think we are, something like that. We try to put a face out to the world that says, I got it all together. No, you don't. You don't. We already know that. You can stop pretending and embrace your vulnerability. Don't hide from it. You don't have to put it in neon letters and, blinking lights or whatever, but embrace your vulnerability. Embrace the fact that you're human. You're gonna mess up. And guess what? So is everybody else on the planet. And if we can remember that, maybe it's gonna make us just a little bit easier to be tolerant, to be accepting, to put up with others, and to, as it says up there, play nice in your sandbox. I think it's a great idea. It's fun to do, I promise you. I challenge you. Embrace your vulnerability. Let others be who they are. Don't hold them up to a higher standard than you know yourself can meet. Learn to laugh. Learn to enjoy other people and yourself. Life will be great. Wow, greater. Hey, we'll see you next time. Thanks.